Hey, Shalom Akim. This is, and a few Aquath that watch. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, Great Millstone, back for another video. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kahakudash. And of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth. Alright. Across four corners of the earth, while time still permits us to do so. This is a good video today. Not that all of them aren't, but still on this topic of the so-called model minority and what they've done. See, these people are very good at playing the long game. Alright. For those of you to remember the first Art of War movie with Wesley Snipes, she makes a statement. I guess it's midway through the movie. It's been so long since I've seen it. I forget what position she held, the Edomite one. She was telling Wesley Snipes about how the Chinese were always, managed to more or less, and I'm paraphrasing, stay one step ahead of them. Using those ancient wisdoms. And how she put it, they keep fucking us over and fucking us over. But, it's true, like I said. But this is so entertaining to me. And it's beautiful to see our main enemy, the so-called white man, get played. And this is what this video is going to go into. It's beautiful. The thing is, when I said entertaining, because these people hadn't even got into office yet, and already you're seeing the backlash from what he said. Alright, and this is just something we as people should just sit back, get the popcorn, and watch this show. But let's go ahead with the video.
If you're on a keto diet, you need to try Factor. I didn't know what else to eat. Don't even mention meal prep.
This is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, I want to thank everybody who informed me that Xi Jinping is the president of China. I stand corrected. So thank you very much. I had seen it before, but I didn't know how to say his name, so I was making something up, and it was the president of China. And y'all knew, so I always know that the people who view my channel are intelligent and informed, and they know things, and you can teach me things. So I appreciate that. So thank you. Now, on to Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy has called white Americans lazy. And the reason I'm saying he's talking about white Americans is because when people are talking about black Americans, they will say black people or black Americans. They want to specify that they're talking about black people. But when you say Americans, everybody assumes that he's talking about white folks. This is a spiritual moment, if anything. And Vivek Ramaswamy is the perfect person to say something like that. And the reason I say that is because the Asians have been elevated in America. The Asians are smart. The model minorities. The Asians, the Asians, the Asians. Well, Vivek.
And again, this goes to prove that that whole region over there is Asia. He's from the so-called subcontinent, or Asian subcontinent being India. But it's still all Asia.
Ramaswamy is a South Asian. He's from what they call the Indian subcontinent. I think I'm right about that. If I'm not, I'm sure y'all will correct me. But he's of the group that they have been elevating as being so intelligent. So when he says you're lazy because you focus on the wrong things, he says it's a default in the culture. Vivek's argument is that America needs to hire more skilled laborers from abroad, preferably from India, because he feels that American workers are not as skilled as these foreign workers.
But why?
Now, guess what he blames it on? He blames the 1990s TV sitcoms for America needing to go abroad to hire workers in STEM programs because he says we're watching the wrong things on TV.
They might have a.
He said people should be watching more movies like Whiplash and fewer reruns of Friends. He continued on X and said a culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zack and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. In other words, he's saying America focuses too much on popularity and not on substance. Going to school to be popular as opposed to going to school to learn so that you will be productive in your work life after school.
But again, why is that? Could there be something more to this? Could they have been so focused on something else as to where they let their guard down? Let's keep going.
And this might surprise you, but I agree with him.
Yes.
Haven't we been complaining in Black America about the programming that's pushed off on Black people?
Yeah.
Focusing just on Black people, Black Americans, our academic progress has been stifled by this country because there has never been an incentive, there has never been any kind of encouragement for Black Americans to be academically excellent. Now, in individual families, yes, and we do have academic excellence, but there has been a constant drumbeat and a constant narrative going around that Black people are not smart, Black people are not intelligent, Black people can't do this. And so, to reinforce the idea, the schools where Black people are in a majority have not been properly funded and have not been given the resources that they need to really produce world-class students. And I think we can all agree on that. So he is right there in that regard. Now, the question is, what have white people been doing? They have not been stifled. They have been given the resources that they need to produce academically superior students. And I'm not saying that they don't produce any. But what he's saying is that they don't produce enough of them. Now, the question is,
why?
Are there enough white engineers and computer analysts and computer scientists and AI and artificial intelligence experts? Is there a deficit of them? Because they have been given the resources that they need. And that is why he's calling them lazy. Because he knows full well they haven't been held back. They've had the resources. Their schools have been funded the way they need to be funded. I think Ramaswamy was born in America, so he knows how the game works. He knows how they segregate, and they try to segregate from Black people. And that is why it's important that he said what he said, a model minority who has had the opportunity to observe them all his life. He's in his 30s or 40s, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. Yes, they are lazy. Yes, they focus on the wrong things. Mainly what they focus on is Black people. So they can't do what they need to do to move the country forward.
Oh, so much of their energy has been spent on making our lives miserable as a people, making sure that we don't succeed. See, when all your focus is on this one, I'll say people, but job, as it were. All right. You leave yourself open for what? See, they take advantage of the situation being that while we're getting all fucked up and, the focus is on us, wow, they can just come in the back door, the side door, whatever, all right, and do what they got to do. Meanwhile, our enemy is leveling praise on them. Oh, yes, you're so smart. You're not Negro or anything like this. See, this is where I think I've read something like that. Let's see. Could it be? We'll come back to this. Oh, no, we'll read it now. This is Psalms, of course. It says, why do you hide yourself? This is prayer. King David says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. The poor being who? Israelites, us. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And that's what's happening now. That's why I said it's 2025. Oh my goodness. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Most High Yahweh abhorreth. See, all these people are, first and foremost, businessmen. That's all they care about, the money. All right. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. See, this is all the so-called white man's, his compadres. So we're going to go to him not seeing, well, he might recognize it now, but this was prophesied, was it not? This is Obadiah. And when we get to Obadiah, what's it talking about? Edom will be humble. And this is what's going on now. All right. I'll start at the top. I was just going to go straight to the point. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Most High Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And they are. All right. Especially those small hats. All right. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, clue, whose habitation is high, clue, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Another clue. The proudest people on this planet, who is that? The so-called white man. Everything is in service to him. That's how he has it set up. All right. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, another clue. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, another clue. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High Yahweh. What's the bird most associated with the Edomite, the so-called white man? It's the eagle. Though thou set thy nest among the stars. All right. From his airplanes to his space stations to his, at least in Leo, low Earth orbit, because he hasn't gone further than that. All right. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will they not have stolen till they have had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? And that was a custom in Israel, kind of a, like a makeshift welfare, so the poor could, just come and pick things off the ground. But no, this devil doesn't even want that. He takes it all, so you can come to him. This is how he works. 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right, all the men of thy confederacy, here's the point, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not, verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? and understanding out of the mount of Esau. See, it was a given that, although nobody probably expected it this soon, but it's all the more reason why we say things are speeding up. You don't have time to dilly-dally, as they say. All right? Repent now. Don't fall into Sirach 5 and 4 through 7. Let's get that real quick. This is Sirach 5 and 4. It says, "Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Most High is long-suffering, he will in no wise let thee go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. And say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins, for mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners." Here's the point in 7. "Make no tarrying to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security, or what you thought was security, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." And here's the problem with a lot of Jake. Verse 8, "Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity." Because you want to play that game of these Edomites. And a lot of these Republicans, the so-called black Republicans, they've been played. These are true well, I'll let her get to that point. I don't want to jump the gun. Here we go.
To move the country forward because they're so radar focused on black people.
There you go.
Listen to what this black man had to say, and then I'm going to add something.
I've never seen a trick played on some people so wisely and creatively as the immigrants, the Indian and Asian immigrants. No shade on them, but I believe that they are just some of the most ingenious people there are. And never have I seen a trick played on MAGA and white conservatives and people who espouse a specific ideology as I have seen played on them with the Asian and the Indian immigrants. These folks have done a masterful job of just using you all stupidly, making you look stupid while you were distracted, focused on black folks. They have come in, accumulated more wealth than any other group ever. They are the CEOs of the largest companies. Asians and Indians are the largest population in terms of their wealth, of the median income. You were distracted on black folks, and these folks have done a masterful job of just playing themselves or playing you as fools. They saw your weakness. Your weakness is racism, and they use that racism against you to now show exactly who they are and exactly what they want. They are against immigration, but not against their people coming in, the smart people coming in, the cultured people coming in. You dismiss our culture.
That's why I've always said, and others, actually from the apostles on down, that allowing Jake to come up here like they did, I'm talking about Northern Kingdom, and just, that was all planned, of course, but it served as a distraction in what was really going on. So they were like this visa program that they hoped, with all the commotion going on, nobody would really be paying attention. But now you got to ask the question, well, since he opened his mouth like he did, knowing these Edomites like we do, has he more or less committed career suicide? Suicide in general? That's why I said this is going to be some entertaining shit going forward.
But their culture can come in. They can tell you to your face and then block you and just annul your ability to make an income. And
because see what Jake, those idiots that are part of the Republican Party didn't factor in. They thought that, well, if we align ourselves with these racists, you know, these are sellouts anyway, by and large, but maybe they'll get these illegals out of here and, you know, we can benefit. Who says that that was going to be the case, regardless? See, this is where Jake gets to the point where he forgets who he is and where he is, because he got a little change in his pocket. And like I say, this is going to be beautiful because everybody's about to get get served here.
Do what you want to do because they know exactly what they were doing.
Yep.
They came in, they used your racism against you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you won't get a job. You're begging for Trump to ensure that your benefits are kept. They are smarter than.
And of course, who always gets left out in the cold?
You, and they used you or us against you. They knew your racism and they were just masterful at playing three-dimensional chess while you were not even playing checkers. You were playing hopscotch.
Have you heard about Ryoko Pro? This is the cutting-edge portable Wi-Fi hotspot that people wish they found out about.
You weren't even playing.
Yes, they definitely got played. White America definitely got played. They thought that Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk were on their team. These people are oligarchs. They are not on your team. They're on their own team. Now, one thing about the Asians, they don't try to assimilate into white society the way Black Americans do when they get their hands on some money. Vivek Ramaswamy, this is his family. He is married to an Indian woman. His children look like him. And when you look at the Chinese men, those men are married to Chinese women. They marry their own people. They stick together. They work together, and they accumulate. They are not interested in assimilating. They're interested in accumulating. And that is a lesson that we could learn from them going forward.
That's part of the curses that were put upon us. Not only will we be divided as far as tribes and as a people, but, I mean, we're scattered all around. And verse 54, well, let's get it real quick. In Deuteronomy 28, let's go straight to it. It tells you what? So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. 56, the tender and delicate woman amongst you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. That's not happening with them. All right. But let's go a little bit more. Finish it on out, and I'll come back.
And that is a lesson that we could learn from them going forward. They are calling white Americans lazy because they know that they are controlling America. And they ought to be the most productive people in America, and they're not. And the reason they're not is because they never had to be, because Black people have been carrying the load.
Carrying the load.
But there's probably going to be a change, and the change is not going to be pretty.
That's what I was talking about.
But we can sit back and watch and see what happens. Elon Musk and Ramaswamy now have shown their hand. But it's too late, because now Trump is already in office. So it's going to be at least 4 years before this thing begins to turn around.
I don't think
so. In those 4 years, as they say, we're going to have to stay on our knees. We're going to have to pray. We're going to pray.
Hold on to your butts. So here's the thing. Let's go to, I mentioned this in my last video. And this is, you know, I started 14. He says, behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and has fallen to the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. All right, and this is why this is so beautiful. All right, because we're seeing Sirach 25:7 right before our eyes. We're seeing the downfall of our enemy. And it's a beautiful thing, at least as far as I'm concerned. You know, like I said, sit back, get your popcorn, get ready for the show, because, hey, 2025. So with that, till the next video, hey, shalom.